What's up, Stat Family? Told you we was coming back with another. We got NBA Legends reacts to LeBron James calling himself the GOAT. This is a live reaction. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button, and comment below. Let's get it. You know what time it is. It's legendary time. Shout out to the Lord. It's always a Lord time over here. Now, I promise you that. We ain't gonna do no playing about that, for real. I promise you. Shout out to y'all. We gonna get down to it early. We ain't gonna waste no time. Y'all know what we came here to see. Is LeBron James the GOAT? I just wanna know. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Is he really the GOAT? Please let me know down there in the comment section. Let's get down to it. We tired of all the playing. We tired of hearing Jordan the GOAT. We tired of hearing Bird the GOAT. We tired of hearing, we definitely tired of hearing LeBron the GOAT. We tired of that shit. We definitely tired of it. We want to get down to who is the real GOAT. I just want to know, is LeBron James the GOAT? Keep it for real. Let's be for real. Let me know in the comment section. I need to know. I need to know. If you watch basketball, if you love basketball, let me know who the GOAT is. Down there in the comment section, just let me know now. I promise you. We're going to get to it early. It's legendary. Let's start it. Shout out to y'all, too. Don't forget y'all legendary around here. It's big around here. Thank the Lord for another. You know what? Shout out to Sean Davis.
Hello, good day everyone, how's it going? I'm Sean David, welcome back to my show. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at NBA legends reacting to LeBron James calling himself the GOAT. Now, he won his 4th NBA championship, and the conversation about who's the greatest of all time is getting bigger and bigger, so it's really interesting to see what NBA legends had to say when LeBron James not too long ago made his opinion. But before we get to that, let me give a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thanks a lot, you guys, for supporting the show. It's really appreciated. All right, enough said. Let's dive right into today's episode.
Showtime.
LeBron James, a player that normally doesn't need no introduction. Drafted in the year 2003, he dominated his era more than any other player. Now winning his 4th NBA championship, the conversation about who's the greatest player of all time, or the GOAT, is at its peak. For many of the young generation who have never seen Michael Jordan play, except maybe for some YouTube highlight videos, it's hard to understand why LeBron James shouldn't be the GOAT. He won countless accolades, made it to the NBA Finals almost every single year, and even I, as a hardcore Michael Jordan fan, gotta admit that LeBron James is really a unique talent. But I personally will never ever change my mind about that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. But it looks like even LeBron James feels that he now surpassed MJ and he's now the greatest player. And that was even before he won his 4th ring. Now, let's have a look at what exactly LeBron James said.
In 2018, and where we will live probably for the rest of our lives. The argument about the greatest of all time, which LeBron James relit this week when he was heard by everyone on the latest episode
that live
of More
right
Than
now.
an Athlete, currently available on ESPN Plus, saying this.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For
That's
so
what I
many
felt.
reasons.
I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when y'all everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years. Everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, That one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
As you can imagine, when LeBron James said that he's the GOAT, many NBA legends felt that they had to comment on that. So let's have a look what some of the greatest players of all time had to say to
We
that.
heard LeBron call himself the greatest player of all time on that More Than an Athlete broadcast. He was talking about how he felt after the 2016 championship. Well, Danny Ainge not only disagrees, he strongly disagrees. Here's what he said about LeBron and a local sports radio show in Boston. Quote, "His career's not over. I'd just like to know why he's saying that. I don't know. Maybe he thinks that sells. Maybe he's taking the Donald Trump approach and trying to sell himself. I don't know."
Wow.
Follow that, Scottie Pippen.
That's a tough one to follow. I mean, that's Danny Ainge's opinion, and we all have our opinion. But my problem is more so with LeBron. If you are the greatest player, if people are saying you are the greatest player, or if people are saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player, why do you need to say it?
Right.
Michael Jordan has never, ever said he's the greatest player to ever play the game. Why? He's respected all the other players before him. So for LeBron to say that, he's sort of pulling himself out of it, because you can't say you're the greatest player. You have to allow your peers in the world to say that.
So the context of when he said it, just because, if we're having this discussion, he was sitting around with his friends, and he was saying that when he won that 2016 title, he said his first thought was Cleveland, wow, we've done this first time in 52 years. And he said, my second thought as I was, running around the court being crazy was, wow, I did it. This is what makes me the greatest player of all time. You can disagree with him. I get it. And you can disagree with him saying that. And by the way, that conversation was for a documentary that was supposed to appear on ESPN Plus. So he knew cameras were rolling. It's not like they caught him in a moment.
Well,
I think
it's pretty great that a guy won 3 titles, left for 2 years, came back and won 3 more. That is considered greatness to me.
Yeah.
Winning ultimately decides who the greatest players are in the game.
Well, as it turns out, back in 2009, the GOAT, Michael Jordan, was asked by our pal Michael Wilbon about his place on the all-time list of NBA greatness. And here is what MJ had to say.
I don't want it in a sense because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against. What everybody's saying I am, I never had the chance to compete against other legends that was prior to me. When I hear it, I cringe a little bit because, it's a little bit embarrassing because no one knows, I never had the chance, once again, to play against those guys.
I need one word answer, Chauncey. Greatest
Michael.
of all time. Greatest of all time, Jalen?
Airness.
Greatest of all time?
Unanimous.
Okay, thank you very much. That being said, Jalen, I want to start with you.
Okay.
How do you feel about LeBron saying that about himself?
First and foremost, to me, LeBron officially passed Larry Bird and got into the top 5 when he won his final championship, his only championship in Cleveland. In my mind, he still has a way to go clearly to pass Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, 11 championships, 13 years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
The captain.
and my heart just won't let him pass Magic just yet. I got to see a little bit more. And so that's where I'm going on this topic. I appreciate how he's bringing this up. So millennials that only saw him play and continue to say he's the guy. But guys that's been around the game and young ladies, we've seen something else that's really special as well.
I agree with everything you're saying, Jay. I love it. I love that he stepped out there. I love that he stepped out there and said that. I don't remember any other player ever coming out and saying, I'm the greatest of all time. I've never seen that before. I love that he's done that. He's on the Mount Rushmore, in my opinion. But I can't put him at the top. There's no way I can put him at the top. And at the end of the day, and he talked about this, that win, beating that team, made him the greatest of all time. Maybe if he would have hit that shot that Kyrie hit,
I mean, that is a part of the
I could see him maybe saying that, but I can't go there. I'm sorry.
You know what? We should turn to our resident self-promoter.
No,
Before-
I don't know if you can self-proclaim this, because when you think of all the great players like Jalen said, Kareem, Magic, none of them has never come out and said, I'm the GOAT. That's something up to like the fans, the writers, and former players. You know, so when they come out with these ESPN rankings and all these other rankings, you know, let that be the judge, I think, you know, but the self-proclaiming, he's definitely up there. He's definitely top 5 in my book. But I think when you look at the accolades, the championships, I mean, Jordan, Magic, Kareem, they're all up there.
I've never heard one of the greatest say they were the greatest of all time. That was very interesting to me. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
Oof, man, you know what? It's one thing. We all sit at this table all the time and sing his praises.
Yeah.
I think LeBron is a great player.
Yeah.
I just think that's disrespectful, honestly, to Bill Russell. What did Bill Russell do? Won every time. He said, all right, fellas, you want to win? Come with me. We'll go on the floor. That's what this game's all about. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
and he was
Michael
great
Jordan.
on all levels, though, Kareem. The best in high school, the best in college, and the best in the pros.
That's what I'm saying. You know, Michael. I mean, there's just so many. Two of my good, Larry and Magic. I mean, just led teams and turned the league around. You don't need to say that about yourself. Let other people say that for you. I mean, I was kind of surprised because I had read about it, but that's the first time I'd actually heard him say it. Made me to go. I'm like, damn.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you know, I love the kid. I think he's a great player. I think he's been great for the game. But let other people say that for you. To me, it's just disrespectful for a lot of people that came before you that were great players. And you said it to begin with, Chris. You can't compare eras and all that stuff. All these guys have been so great in their era. I just didn't like. I didn't like the way that sounded to me. Just didn't like it.
You know, and everybody knows I love LeBron, but I'm gonna call timeout on this one because and I'll speak definitely to LeBron, or I'll say it to his face. But you never. There's a certain thing about greatness that demands that you have humility with greatness. Now, I've never heard, even though we argue about Michael Jordan being the greatest of all time, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being the greatest of all time, LeBron James being the greatest of all time, we have those arguments in debate. I have never heard Michael Jordan say he's the greatest of all time. Yeah. Even though he may think that, even though Kareem may think that, right? You just don't come out and say that. Now, in this era, you know, maybe it's okay for people to come out and say that. All I know, if I was in the league right now and you talking about you the greatest of all time, dude, I'm getting ready to do you. I'm coming at you. Like, and you may be, but to say that is just totally disrespectful to me as one of your competitors, as one of your teammates, as someone in your generation right now. It's just, you don't come out and say that. So with greatness, there's a certain amount of humility that goes with that. Now, somebody will probably come back and say, well, Muhammad Ali said I'm the greatest, but that was a single man sport.
Yeah, individual sport.
There was an individual sport. Yeah. Tiger Woods can make the argument he's the greatest because it's single. Yeah. But when you saying, and by the way, Muhammad Ali was saying he the greatest because, you know, he was getting in the ring and he knocked you out. Right. But, you know, to be able to take that stand and to take that position in this day and age in the team sport, you should have some humility that goes on.
The one thing that always confuses me a little bit is when LeBron James on the one side says that he's the greatest of all time, but on the other hand, he also many times mentioned that he felt that Michael Jordan was the greatest player of all time. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he was back when he came back after the first retirement. It was a very joyous moment for my community, for myself, for my friends. Just having the greatest basketball player ever, you know, coming back playing the game. You know, I needed that inspiration. Growing up in the inner city, you know, it's like I kind of lost a superhero when he retired, someone that I kind of needed to help me, you know, some way, somehow, even though he didn't know it.
All right, you guys, that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, if you liked the video, hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to hear a podcast with me and former NBA legends like Dennis Rodman, Sean Kemp, Dominique Wilkins, Tim Hardaway, Alonzo Mourning, and so on, please check out the Basketball Time Machine podcast on iTunes and on Spotify. All right, that was it. You all be healthy, take care, and goodbye.